Hello, remote students. I'm going to walk you through three of the elaboration strategies that we are going to be working on in class this week. So I hope this is information that I introduced the last week of second quarter when we were still together. I don't know how much you may remember or not. So this might just be a review for some of you. So to elaborate means to add details and to expand. So you see an example there, an original sentence, the boy went to the store, but the elaboration adds so much more details. It tells us how the boy got to the store. He walked, how far it was, 2 blocks, and what he went to get, chocolate milk, and for whom the groceries were, and it was his little brother. So you can see that an elaborated sentence it's expanded, it's much longer, and it also adds many more details. So the goal is for you to help your reader understand as much as they can in your narrative. This is a writing strategy that's called show, don't tell. So you don't want to be talking in your writing. You want to show by creating these visuals with your words. So the words that you choose can create mental pictures for your readers. So then it's not just that they're reading the words, they're also seeing it in their minds. So the first one is just to explain. And by explaining, we mean like giving as many details as possible. Consider the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why, and the 1 H, how, when you're trying to explain something. So our sentence here, running cross country is difficult. Okay, that may be true, but we want to elaborate. We want to expand upon it. What about it is difficult? Who is it difficult for? Where does this take place that makes it difficult? When is it difficult? Is there a particular time period when it's more difficult than other times? And why is it so difficult? And you use your H question, your how. How is it difficult? So explaining that. So you see an example there in front of you of a much more elaborated and detailed explanation of the difficulty of running cross country. First of all, it tells you how long it takes, 3 miles. Where does it take place? Not on a track. Some courses are on sand, which makes you feel like you're running on a sponge. Sometimes there's hills. When it includes the weather. Sometimes it rains, sometimes it snows. When is it difficult? When the wind blows hard, it's difficult to stay on course. Why is it difficult? You have to run the whole time. You can't stop. How difficult is it? Your legs hurt. You get tired. But even if you want to throw up, you have to keep going. So an explanation really fleshes out and answers a lot of questions for your readers. Now, a second way to do this is to provide definitions, facts, or statistics. This is what is called logos in rhetorical terms. And logos just is logic. Logic is facts, it's definitions, it's research, statistics, it's things that have been proven. So an example provided for you here, one of our best programs that our school had is something called BrainWorks. BrainWorks is an after-school program where kids go and do their homework. That's a definition. Now, it's not a definition maybe you'd get from a dictionary, but it is still the definition of what that word is. As you are telling your narrative, you may have a word that is unusual or something that your readers may not recognize. If that's true, you're going to want to provide them a definition. You don't always have to provide a definition, though. Sometimes you want to have some sort of fact. Or, for example, in the thought bubbles here, did you know that 3 out of 4 parents would have grounded you for staying out so late? Okay. So if you want to use this strategy, sometimes you have to do a little bit of research to find a fact or a statistic that will back up what you are saying. The third strategy for elaboration is giving an example. So, an example, it's just what it sounds like. It's kind of showing them something, an example or a sample to give your readers a better picture in their mind of what you're talking about. So, take a look at this. This paragraph is about the game of golf. It can be played for a lifetime by yourself. People of any age can play a round of golf whenever they want, as opposed to team sports. For example, now this is an example of team sports. Football, soccer, and volleyball take an entire team of people to play. Okay. So they're giving you an example of how golf is different from other sports because it can be played by one person. You don't have to have others with you. And you can play for an entire lifetime. Football players have a finite amount of time that they can play before their body starts to break down. So it just kind of gives you an example, an idea of what they mean by the difference between golf and other sports.